Thank you, Chairman Warren and Ranking Member Van Hollen. Thanks for holding this hearing. Welcome, General Bondi.
Thank you, Senator.
Good to see you. I want to raise with you something that's been deeply concerning to me, General Bondi. The 2024 Democrat nominee for Vice President actually called federal immigration agents Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo. This is dangerous for our agents, it's wrong, and it cuts against and it undercuts the rule of law. So I want to ask you a series of questions, General Bondi, and if you would accommodate me, I would appreciate it. First, you'll agree when a bill is passed by Congress and signed by the President, it's law, right?
Yes, Senator.
And until that law is changed by Congress, you have a duty to follow it, right? That's what the rule of law is.
Yes, Senator.
So let me read the law.
We need to talk about something absolutely extraordinary that just happened in federal court. The ramifications of this are nothing short of explosive. Attorney General Pam Bondi has just been handed what can only be described as a devastating 1-2 punch from the federal judiciary. What's emerging from these rulings proves deeply troubling. We're not discussing minor procedural setbacks or technical legal disputes resolved on appeal. No, these rulings document systematic misconduct, unlawful exercises of power, and potential criminal behavior, all captured in official court records by federal judges who speak directly. 2 separate federal judges issued rulings that dismissed cases Bondi's Justice Department brought against James Comey and Letitia James. These decisions systematically dismantle the entire legal framework constructed to pursue what many characterize as politically motivated revenge prosecutions.
Your department has failed to respond to any of the 9 inquiries I have made and have responded to only 2 of 38 letters sent by my colleagues, the ranking members of the Senate and House Judiciary Committees, Senator Durbin and Congressman Raskin. So, Madam Attorney General, we have much to discuss this morning. I look forward to your testimony.
Senator Van Hollen, thank you. General Bondi, you're now recognized for your statement.
The judges went far beyond saying, "not guilty" or "case dismissed." They documented serious flaws in how these prosecutions were conceived, authorized, and executed from the outset. Let's examine the foundation first, because everything unravels there. Senior Judge Cameron McGaughey Curry reviewed the appointment of Lindsay Halligan, the interim United States attorney specifically selected by Bondi and Trump to handle these high-profile cases against political adversaries. Judge Curry discovered something that sends shockwaves through anyone committed to rule of law and proper procedure. Halligan's appointment as interim United States attorney violated federal law from inception. She never possessed legal authority to serve. This exceeds minor technicality. Federal statutes establish precise procedures for United States attorney qualifications and circumstances. These laws serve critical purposes, preventing presidents from installing political allies or loyalists into enormously powerful positions without Senate confirmation, oversight, or institutional safeguards. These roles wield complete federal prosecutorial authority capable of destroying lives, filing criminal charges, seeking imprisonment. Rules exist deliberately. Judge Curry found those rules disregarded entirely. Halligan's appointment proved legally defective. The consequences proved massive. Lacking lawful authority as United States Attorney, every action Halligan took under that title stands legally invalid. Every document signed, every indictment secured, Judge Curry characterized these as unlawful exercises of executive power. The ruling eliminates ambiguity. It states clearly that everything stemming from Halligan's defective appointment, including indictments against Comey and James, requires dismissal. Consider implications carefully. Prosecutions targeted 2 prominent Donald Trump critics publicly attacked and threatened repeatedly by him. These rested on foundation legally non-existent from start. Evidence proved weak and legal theories questionable, but core problem ran deeper. Prosecutorial authority itself never existed, like non-lawyers filing documents or unqualified judges issuing rulings. Basic legal authority threshold unmet completely. This raises obvious troubling questions. Did Bondi and Justice Department team fail to comprehend interim appointment legal requirements? Unlikely among sophisticated professionals. Or did they comprehend requirements fully but ignore them deliberately, gambling prosecutions advance unchallenged? Either scenario disturbs profoundly. Gross incompetence interpreting basic law or deliberate circumvention pursuing political aims both undermine justice system integrity. Judge Curry's ruling delivers first devastating blow. Second arrives from Magistrate Judge William Fitzpatrick, who examined Comey case grand jury proceedings meticulously. His discoveries alarm anyone understanding criminal justice function. He described findings as disturbing pattern of profound investigative missteps. Federal judges select language precisely. Written opinions form permanent legal records cited in cases, analyzed by scholars, reviewed historically. When judges term conduct disturbing and errors profound, they deliberately establish misconduct record of gravity unmatched casually.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I very much appreciate your leadership of this important subcommittee. Welcome, Attorney General Bondi. It's good to see you. Just yesterday, I met in my office with the advocates who work with survivors of domestic violence in rural Maine. Along with Chairman Moran and other members of this committee, I was one of the lead sponsors of the Violence Against Women Act reauthorization of 2022.
Judge Fitzpatrick expressed no mild concern over minor errors. He documented fundamental failures executing prosecution. Specific discoveries? First, fundamental misstatements of law presented to grand jury. Understanding significance requires grasping grand jury federal role. Grand juries provide critical prosecutorial power check. Ordinary citizens review evidence, determine probable cause, crime committed, and charges warranted. Fifth Amendment constitutional safeguard protects against overzealous or politically motivated pursuits. Grand jurors lack lawyer training. They depend on prosecutors explaining law accurately, applicable standards, elements proven for crimes. Prosecutors hold legal and ethical obligations presenting law correctly. Court officers, they maintain candor duty. Misstating law to grand jury corrupts process entirely. Jurors cannot evaluate evidence properly applying incorrect standards. Judge Fitzpatrick determined prosecutors misrepresented legal requirements fundamentally to Comey grand jury. Grand jury decisions rested incorrect legal information. Indictments possibly approved based evidence insufficient under correct standards. This surpasses aggressive prosecution or creative theory. It undermines grand jury purpose existence. Before continuing Judge Fitzpatrick findings breakdown, if finding this coverage valuable and seeking more detailed analysis like this, please subscribe to Daniel Cross Show. Every subscription enables continued detailed coverage, critical legal political developments. Hit subscribe button, join growing community. Judge Fitzpatrick problems extend beyond legal misstatements. He identified potentially privileged material improperly presented grand jury. Legal privilege protects no technical loophole, fundamental rights relationships. Attorney-client privilege safeguards confidential lawyer-client communications, ensuring candid legal advice sought without fear weaponization later. Prosecutors presenting privileged material, grand jury violates protections, potentially taints entire proceeding. Grand jurors viewing privileged communications influences decisions unfairly, prejudicing investigation target. Once exposed, damage irreversible. Judge Fitzpatrick confirmed privileged material reached grand jury improperly. Most shocking aspect emerges next. Judge Fitzpatrick determined indictment process so chaotic, disorganized legitimate questions arise whether grand jury reviewed approved final charges filed against Comey. Standard prosecutions follow clear sequence. Prosecutors draft indictment, present grand jury, jurors review, vote approve, then indictment filed officially. Constitution requires this. Judge Fitzpatrick found process jumbled, poorly managed, basic procedural requirement satisfaction questionable. Indictment possibly filed without grand jury viewing final version. Prosecutors bringing criminal charges against former FBI director without securing grand jury approval violates federal criminal prosecution fundamental operation. Reach most explosive potentially criminal element, security footage. After Judge Fitzpatrick issued preservation disclosure orders, courthouse security cameras captured remarkable scene. Footage shows Attorney General Pam Bondi leaving courthouse carrying document boxes, not personal belongings or office supplies, case-related materials ordered preserved pursuant judge order. Timing proves absolutely critical, impossible overstated. Footage captures Bondi exiting boxes shortly after preservation order issuance. Damning detail follows. Investigators reported unable to locate case files supposed contain those boxes. Timeline matches perfectly. Judge issues preservation order. Bondi leaves carrying boxes. Files disappear. Video timestamps align. Sequence events documented visually. No law degree required recognizing problematic appearance. Evidence disappears immediately after court preservation mandate. Video footage shows individual carrying matching evidence boxes courthouse that constitutes textbook obstruction justice. Precisely conduct prosecutors, charge others committing routinely. President-elect Donald Trump Attorney General pick Pam Bondi vowed not weaponize United States Justice Department targeting people political basis if confirmed position. She dodged direct questions investigating President-elect scorned individuals during Senate Judiciary Committee testimony Wednesday. I will not politicize that office. I will not target people simply because political affiliation. Irony staggers beyond comprehension. Pam Bondi functions United States Attorney General, nation's chief federal law enforcement officer. Role demands upholding, enforcing federal criminal law, including obstruction justice evidence tampering statutes. Oversees federal prosecutors bringing charges exactly this conduct type. Video appears capturing her engaging behavior department, prosecutes others committing. Defense attorneys nationwide undoubtedly cataloging details. Every federal prosecutor accusing defendant obstruction justice evidence tampering faces defense counsel pointing this incident. How trust Justice Department prosecution credibility when Attorney General herself allegedly removed evidence after preservation order? Rhetorical, no longer legitimate argument influencing case outcomes potentially. Institution prosecuting charges damaged profoundly when found engaging identical conduct accuses others committing. Collapse represents spectacular failure, Trump's so-called revenge prosecution agenda. James Comey, Letitia James, no random targets. Comey directed FBI during Russia investigation authorizing Trump campaign coordination inquiries. Trump terminated Comey employment, repeatedly denounced criminal publicly. Letitia James, New York Attorney General, pursued civil fraud investigations. Trump business empire. Secured court accountability, massive financial penalties, many believed impossible achievement. These prosecutions designed deliver Trump vindication. Bondi tasked securing convictions, validating claims, critics actual criminals. Supposed send message potential Trump opponents, pursue him, face full federal government power retaliation, instead occurred complete collapse. Not mere courtroom defeat, judicial determinations, prosecutions unlawfully conceived, executed beginning entirely. Comey James depart not merely escaping charges, departing vindicated federal judges, documenting unlawful political persecution victims. Future criminality claims countered directly these rulings. Federal judges examined charges, determined based unlawful prosecutorial appointments, fundamental misconduct, dismissed entirety while documenting abuse systematically. Credibility damage extends far beyond specific cases. Bondi currently manages Epstein files amid intense public scrutiny. Every decision undertaken viewed through judicial misconduct findings lens inescapably. Public trust stewardship impossible when federal judges chronicle such profound failures overseen prosecutions. Every department filing submitted, every lawyer representation advanced, every assurance provided, all tainted permanently, these documented judicial rebukes. Trust lost rebuilds arduously when professional conduct criticized thoroughly federal judiciary. Bar associations, multiple states licensing Bondi likely initiate investigations if security footage confirms evidence removal appearance, professional discipline grounds exist, potentially including disbarment, lesser infractions precedent established. Criminal prosecution possibility real too. Evidence tampering, obstruction justice constitutes serious federal crimes carrying substantial prison sentences. No sitting administration official prosecutes Bondi currently. Future administration's special counsel potentially pursue charges, evidence warrants sufficiently. Aftermath unfolding real-time observable. Congressional oversight committees schedule hearings predictably. Inspector General investigations follow inevitably. Security footage analyzed frame exhaustively. Bondi tenure additional prosecutions face intensified defense attorney judge scrutiny recalling these precedent-setting rulings. Attorney General supposed embody law order principles exposed overseeing operations failing basic legal procedures potentially, possibly engaging criminal conduct directly. Trump desired Attorney General prosecute enemies list. Instead, Bondi delivered those enemies complete vindication, simultaneously exposing personal scandal, potential criminal liability exposure. Revenge prosecutions failed spectacularly, backfiring, achieving precise opposite intended objectives entirely. Fallout commencing barely, consequences mounting steadily. Weaponizing justice system, then exposure caught red-handed reshapes every subsequent action, perception, judgment fundamentally. Precisely unfolding documented federal court filings captured indelibly courthouse security cameras, universal visibility. If this analysis clarified complex developments meaningfully, drop heart comments watched completely end. Subscribe Daniel Cross Show actively working toward 10,000 subscribers milestone goal.